Hey, this is RJ May, and you're watching Mr. Mario 2011.
Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and it's actually been quite a while since I've done any type of video like this, but occasionally I used to do videos where I would talk about either a TV show or a movie or something that I saw, kind of reviews, I guess you can say, and it's been... Man, it has to be thousands of subscribers ago the last time I did one of these. But, you know, there's been this show I've been watching lately, and it's been kind of showing up on everyone's radar. I can say they've definitely done an excellent job promoting it, but I kind of want to throw my thoughts out there because I notice a lot of people, you know, at least a lot of the subscribers I've seen have enjoyed the same type of shows and all that I have liked as well. So, what show am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Netflix exclusive, and it's called Bojack Horseman. Now... essentially, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it might be the first Netflix original cartoon, if not one of the first Netflix original cartoons. In case you don't know, a Netflix original is exactly what it sounds like. It's available on Netflix, it's exclusively on there, and to me, Netflix originals are the best shows that you will not see on TV. They've had Orange is the New Black, they've had House of Cards, which I still need to catch up with Season 2 on, and Bojack Horseman. In fact, I mean, this show is so good that I'm actually rewatching it right now, which has kind of prompted me to make this commentary, but... I watched it the week it was released. I just popped up and I said, you know what, I'm going to check this out. I watched the first episode and I will tell you this, like, within 2 days, I had finished the entire series, and it's about 12 or 13 episodes, about a standard cartoon as to what that would normally be running. But it is a cartoon. In short, the short version of it, I tell people it's pretty much Entourage with a horse. And if you want the long version of it, I'll pretty much explain it. The main character, of course, is self-titled as Bojack Horseman. He is a man-horse, I guess you can say, and this takes place in Hollywood, where it is a fictional Hollywood with humans and you have animals all around there. Now, Bojack used to be on a show. It was an 80s sitcom called Horsin' Around, where it was pretty much 3 orphan children who were taken in by Bojack, who was a horse, and you know, it was a feel-good comedy. Well, the show had a good run, and he hasn't acted in like 18 years, and it's pretty much, you know, his journey as to writing his autobiography to get his life back on track and to get noticed again. So I really don't want to spoil anything too much about it, and I want to say, if I'm explaining all this and it sounds like I'm being promoted or anything, no, I promise I'm not being paid, endorsed, anything by the people who do Bojack Horseman, by the people at Netflix, nothing like that. In fact, if they did that, that would be awesome, but, you know, that's not the case. I'm just doing this out of my own free will, and because I want to spread the word about this. Now, I noticed shortly after I watched it as well, not only they were advertising it on the main Netflix apps and front pages, but they also did a lot of viral advertising, you know, on Facebook and other areas, and I had told a few friends about it. And not only it was people like me who were talking about it, but there were ads popping up, and I know it had to be, you know, the agencies definitely getting these ads going, but they had a great job with their ad placement because a friend of mine, I told him about it, and he was like, yeah, you know, I don't know what it is, but I remember you told me about Bojack Horseman, and then like that same week, my entire news feed on Facebook was just filled about posts about people watching Bojack Horseman. So I think something happened where they started promoting it on Facebook and, you know, on Netflix, and all of a sudden everyone started watching it. But it seems coincidental that everyone started watching it at the same time. It's kind of the same effect as Orange is the New Black, where, I mean, honestly, first off, so many people have Netflix, you throw it on there, but second, if it's a good show, it's going to get a lot of attention, especially since Netflix, thankfully, but also kind of a curse at the same time, they don't have too many Netflix originals right now. So, but the originals they've had have been great. They also brought back Arrested Development, which last summer, not this summer, but last summer, I burned through the entire Arrested Development series, then watched the new season. I thought they were all great, and that's definitely one of my favorite shows, like to the point where I was even having dreams about it. But about the actual show, Bojack Horseman, well... first off, it is a cartoon. So I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like cartoons. I personally still like cartoons. And the other things I can explain it and I guess compare it with would be, there's a lot of cartoons I like, but a lot of them that I don't like and a lot that I don't watch. Now, you know, I guess some of the ones that I enjoy, South Park, of course, South Park, Family Guy, Regular Show. That's really the only show I watch on Cartoon Network. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, all the other stuff, you know, I'll watch like on Adult Swim and stuff. But the reason why I brought up those last two shows is because the best way I could think of it is the type of humor it has, it's either you love it or you don't. Because I have not seen anybody say Bojack Horseman is okay. People either say, oh my god, this show is hilarious, it's great, it's excellent, you need to see it, or this show is really boring, I think the humor's dry, I couldn't even get past the first 10 minutes of the first episode. And reason being for it is, at least in my opinion, is this is probably why I like it a lot. When it comes to shows that I watch, I like Aqua Teen Hunger Force for this aspect. A lot of the stuff that happens in Aqua Teen Hunger Force is very situational. It's very random. I love how odd it is, but almost what's going on, the situation itself at times is funnier than the actual dialogue. But then the dialogue is there to just bring everything to perfection with that situation, and it makes it easily quotable. I enjoy quotable shows where I can quote an entire conversation between a friend and I of something that happened in the show. And I like shows that have just funny situational comedy where, as I said, at times, the dialogue is there to definitely add benefits to what you're watching, but the actual situation is just when you tell somebody about it, that situation is funny. One example from the show would be in the second episode. At one point, I'm really not spoiling anything with the plot, but at one point, Bojack, like this is at the beginning of episode 2, he ends up fighting with a SEAL who ended up being a Navy SEAL who got back from Afghanistan recently. He ends up fighting with him in a grocery store because this SEAL apparently had dibs over the last box of muffins, which Bojack found in the middle of the produce aisle, and he said that they were very poorly hidden. However, then Bojack says, you know what? I don't even want these muffins, but pretty much just because you want them, now I'm going to get them. Then it ends up going on national news, and Bojack calls in, and him, the SEAL, and the news anchor all have a debate, and it's a detailed, intricate debate over how many muffins were in this box, and how long it took Bojack to eat all of them from the morning up until this phone call. And just something like that being on the news cracks me up. I found that situation to be hilarious, but then all the quotes I was loving. I showed a friend of mine when she came over the first episode, and then the next day we were quoting the whole $10 for bread thing from the restaurant that was in the show. Now, going back to shows I was comparing it with, I also brought up Regular Show because this is more than likely due to the blatant fact that this is a Hollywood with humans and animals walking around on two legs, but it reminds me a lot of a more adult version of Regular Show, which I even thought about it, and I'm like, am I sure I want to say that? Because if you watch Regular Show, I've watched it with my brother. It's one of those few shows I can watch with my brothers and both of us are entertained. They will be interested, in the child humor. I am more interested in, the real-life aspects of what is going on with the show, but also the more adult jokes and references that are on there. And it might not be anything that's really, completely dirty or anything like that. There's really not that much humor like that on Regular Show. However, some of the episodes on there, I just love the premise. Like, there was an entire episode about the VHS format, which I just found to be hilarious. However, many kids that might be, 5, 6, 7 years old aren't going to know anything about that. But the reason why I'm saying I was kind of iffy on saying that is because there is a lot of content you will see in Regular Show. It's like, is this really a kid's show? Because that joke, I'm not sure if they should have said that. I'm not sure if this should have been brought in. And are they really talking about the friend zone on here? So that's why I was saying that. But no, I'm going to stick to it and say it also feels like a more, as I said, more adult version of Regular Show, and there are even some characters on there that are kind of reminiscent of the characters on Regular Show that I enjoy. Now, another thing I've enjoyed is just the animation and the cast on there. I've loved the animation of the show, and it's just, if I am sitting there watching it, if it's running in the background, I could just look at the characters and just laugh at how they look. But even when it comes to all of the cast members, his name is escaping me right now, but the person who plays Bojack is actually the same person who played Job on Arrested Development. Allison Brie is on there. She plays Diane. And Aaron Paul, the guy who played Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, is Bojack's roommate, or I guess house guest. So they went all out with the cast on there, which is what I really like. Now, I've talked more about what is actually enveloped within the show as opposed to the show itself, and I've done that on purpose due to the fact that I really don't want to spoil anything with it, and it is easily available on Netflix. You can get a free trial of Netflix, or if it's not available in your country or region, find a way to VPN in and watch this, or use a proxy or something, because I thought it was a great show. Now, I am going to recommend it, however, as I said, if you hate it, don't blame me completely, because this is one of those shows, as I have learned from other people, I personally love it. I know several other people that love it. However, I know other people that said I couldn't make it more than 10 minutes into the pilot episode, and I don't see why people like this show. So it is either a love or hate show on Netflix. But my recommendation, I would highly recommend it. I would give this show, honestly, I'm thinking like a 9 out of 10. I love it. I'm wanting more on it. It has been confirmed that they are working on a season 2, and I'm just busy rewatching season 1 right now and catching all the new stuff in there that I missed the first time around. But anyways, that has been my little random, I guess, review of this TV show. If you all want more things like this, let me know, because I do try and watch TV shows and movies and all in my spare time because they're easier to pay attention to, because I can, you know, just kind of pay half attention to them. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you for watching, everyone. Always keep on getting, always giving me help, but will I make it past the stars? Only time will tell. Don't know what to do.